I'm going to be talking about the movie that's just been released, Part 1, Citizens Vigilante. I've actually watched it. We're going to be showing this movie this Sunday on Freedom Fighter Radio at 9:30 p.m. And we will um, show it. You will actually see the edited version. We will cut out parts of it, and we'll explain it to you on the podcast. What part um, on the podcast that actually allows us to show it on Talk Show. Um, if there's anybody that has any questions about this is a video that's banned in Europe and banned everywhere. There might be. We're kind of debating on the first part of it, whether we should show the first part or not. It's kind of gory. We can't show it here on YouTube. I don't think we could probably show it on Facebook directly. Um, but I think it is a. I'll have to warn people. It is an extremely violent video, but we'll be the first one to show it on the internet anywhere where you don't have to go to. I believe it's Twitter. I believe, and it will show the threat of the Islam threat. But I believe the first part of it would really get a reaction. Ready? Okay, we're going to be debating on what part, what allowing to be on the shown on the movie, the first part. And then this is where the woman was actually her throat was slashed. We're going to be debating on whether we should show that or not. I myself personally don't have a problem if that first part's cut out, but not to get into any kind of other details. There's one part of it. That the lady gets her throat slashed, and you can see her blood gushing, and you could actually see part of the video, the edited version. You could see the guy had a knife behind his back, and I just cut it out, that one part. And we're going to decide. We might even take a poll whether or not you want to see the unedited version on the first part, but we have to cut out the X-rated portion of the video. We cannot show that anywhere on the internet. We can't show it on Facebook. We can't show it on YouTube. We can't show it on Talk Show. But the first part of it, we're going to try to describe it, and it's as bad as watching Charlie Kirk's assassination. That's how gory it is. Yeah, exactly. She gets killed in front of her child. Did you see the first part of it, Johnny 7 or Johnny Infidel? Did you see the first part of it? You must have seen the first part, evidently, just enough to see the first part, right? See what he has to say here. I'm waiting to see get a response from Johnny 7. Did you see part of the movie, the first part of the movie, Johnny 7, or not? Okay, yeah, okay. So right now we're debating on whether or not we should show the first part of the movie or not. What do you think, Johnny 7? Should we show that part on it or not? Of course, you have to warn you, this would get you really, if it isn't already, it would piss people off if they seen the first part of the movie. It's as bad as seeing the girl that come from Europe that got her throat slashed. And what when was that? there was a girl from Europe that got on the subway and it was stabbed in the neck. You know what? I actually think this movie was inspired from that event. What do you think? This movie was kind of inspired by the girl that got slashed in the throat. I think it may have been this year. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, Now we could try to put a link in here, but I'm going to go back. Whatever version we decided to use, we're going to put a link here on this YouTube video to the one that we're planning to do on Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. Make sure you get your popcorn. Make sure you get your soda, chips, or whatever. Yeah, yeah. There's a good possibility that this movie was inspired by the event that happened here in our country. I'm just trying to figure out, did it happen this year or last year when that lady got stabbed? Was it early part of this year? I'm just trying to figure out when that was. It wasn't that long ago because I remember it happened seen it on television. Because that's the only thing I can remember happening here in the country. And then there was a bunch of people that were talking about it. And then they were talking about the Kamala Anthony incident. And then they were talking about, the same person, the same people that were doing the thing to Austin Metcalf was the same people that stabbed that one girl. They were bacon, lettuce, and mayonnaise. We were talking about that earlier today in our. Yeah, they're doing a part 2 next year. When I was talking to him, Johnny Infidel, just a couple minutes ago, I was thinking, damn. Yeah. He said it was this incident was this year, the stabbing. When he was telling me about the incident, the movie, I thought that I was thinking, well, damn, we gotta put this into one big super movie. Because if I still have the video, I think I'll probably put it both together, unedited. If we ever get a website put together, we're gonna put the whole thing together and upload it to the website. And that'll be part 1, part 2. And did they say how long the second part movie will be? The second part movie will be about an hour and a half. Because if it is, you're looking at probably at least 2 hour, 2.5 hour, or almost 3 hour movie, between 2 hours and 3 hours, would you say? And we're having a podcast tomorrow night on Freedom Fighter Radio at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk about the Muslim threat at that specific time. If there's anybody that has any questions, just let me know. Let Johnny Infidel know. Like I said in our last podcast I did this morning here on YouTube, I was talking about we're going to get organized and get some stuff done, stand up against the Muslims. We were talking about Eric Murdaugh, I think that's his last name, Murdaugh. about he's planning on having something up in New York City, September the 11th, 2026, the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 uh, event, um, which was a sad event in American history. And we know who was behind it. We know, um, and yet they take over the same city that they attacked. And I'll go back. I'll go back to 2001. I don't remember where I was at the time, but I will tell you this: a year before this happened, I so happened to work in the very field. I actually worked in the security in the airline industry I'd say about a year before that happened. And I know they were blaming security for not they thought that security wasn't doing their job. I'm going to stand up for the security people and tell you the real truth about the about what they were telling the security guards prior to TSA taking over. This is something that George Bush set up. It was handled by private security contractors. I forgot what the name of the company I worked for. I got it in my records. But we were subcontracted out. Like we were working actually. Our client was Delta Airlines, and Delta Airlines was the ones that were running the airport. And I'm not making this stuff up. They had blades about that long that they told the security to allow on the planes. The blades were that long. And they had a thing that was on the x-ray machine. And I was asking one of the guards that worked there longer than me, he was an older guy. I asked him, well, what is the length of the blades that we can or cannot allow to go on the planes? And he literally said anything over this length right here. I think the blade was at least that long. Well, hell, you could cut someone's throat with something that long. Hell, you could cut someone's throat with an X-Acto knife. The blades don't have to be that long. So the security, at least I did, I can't speak for the other security. I was saying, look, why are you letting people carry knives, any kind of knife on the planes, box cutters, anything? And they said, this was their exact words. We don't think anybody will hijack a plane with a knife. They didn't let anybody carry guns on the planes, but knives, they didn't think it was a threat. And what came out on 9/11, right after 9/11, what did they say? They hijacked the planes with box cutters. So they already knew what they could get away with getting on the planes was the box cutters, knives. And you want my personal opinion? They must have known they knew our security procedures, obviously. Because they were doing dry runs, and they know what they could and couldn't bring on the planes. And I guess they figured, well, if the blade was that long, it wouldn't be able to get on board. But they thought, well, hell, box cutter? They ain't gonna make a big deal out of that. So box cutters, they're about that long. You know, here are the same people, same exact people that hijacked the planes, crashed into the World Trade Center, taking over New York City, rubbed it in our face, and they said, we're going to take over America. Now, where the hell was New York City at when this election took place? Where the hell were they at? Don't they remember what happened on 9/11? Do you remember what they said on 9/11? That we would never let this happen again? Do you remember what the senators and congressmen, you remember what they said on right after 9/11 when America came together and they were praying? It was almost like the only way to describe it would be like Pearl Harbor after the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. It was that same mentality. We were ready to go to war with whoever it was that was responsible for it. Right soon afterwards, they said, well, it must be Saddam Hussein. I personally think it's all those Middle Eastern countries that was behind it. If you want my personal opinion. You know, and having worked in, airline security, it just it kind of upsets me because I know they had to have blamed us. Okay, they had to have blamed us for what happened in 9/11, the security, because why would they go from contract security, which they've done it for a long time, to TSA? Because before that, it was the company I was working for. I believe they had all the contracts nationwide on all the airports. And like I said this morning, what they're doing right now at the McGee Tyson Airport, it's a national airport. They're buying up all the land, and the road that I lived at before, where I'm living at now, I lived on Cunningham Street, and they're going to try this eminent domain on all the houses on Cunningham Street, the east and west Cunningham Street. They're going to buy up all that land, and then past the airport, they shut down a motel or hotel on that side of the road, on the up one side of the road, and they're not going on the other side of the road, just on this side of the highway, like if you're going south from Knoxville, all the right side, all the way down to the Exxon gas station. Okay. I don't think they're going to go past the Exxon. They're just going to take it from Exxon. They're going to take all those houses down there, and they're going to go all the way down, because if you look at past the railroad and you drive down the road past the Exxon, I think that road is Topside Road. You go all the way down past Cunningham, down that road, and if you take a left, it goes to Walmart. Take a right, it goes to the Louisville Post Office. And there's a railroad, okay, that passes over like a bridge. Well, over on that right-hand side is the airport, back behind the Exxon, back behind all the houses over there on Cunningham Street, all those houses. So they're going to take over, because anything like the Hyatt Regency Motel, it's over there on the side of where the airport's at. So the only houses that is before the Hyatt Regency is right next to the airport. There's houses that goes all the way down, not that many houses actually. And if you go down right before the railroad. I don't know how many houses, because I'm going to give an estimation of how many houses are there, but I would probably say less than 100, maybe 50 or less, or maybe 100 houses on that side of the road. And it wouldn't take much. And there's a church building on that road on the side. So they'll take out all those houses. It'd be easy for them to claim eminent domain. And then they've got a burnt what do you call, tree line back behind the house we lived at. There used to be houses behind my house when I lived on Cunningham Street. All those houses sold their property to the airport because they said it was too loud. The airplanes going past, taking off, flying off. I remember several years ago when George Bush visited the Knoxville area, you could actually see Air Force One landing at McKees Tyson Airport. I actually seen Air Force One land. It was actually in back of our property. You could see it come down, and we could actually see the Air Force One take off from where we lived at. And you could see the planes, you know. So, like I said, they're going to buy up all that land. I don't know how far they're going to go, but if you look down that road, past the railroad, and you look up there in the hills, and all that road, all that property, like you go down Topside Road, all that road over there, if you take a right, all that's owned by the airport. So I'm afraid what they're going to do, not only are they going to buy up all of Cunningham Street all the way down to the Exxon, they're going to take all that farmland that's out there on the right-hand side, like you're going down Topside, they're going to buy up all that land. And that's going to be a massive, massive, massive international airport if they buy up all that land. If they do, it could probably put Atlanta International Airport to shame if they buy up all that land there. And where I live at now, guess what? I live right next to the airport. Where we live at right now in this apartment, we live right next to the airport. And there's actually a goat farm. There's a goat farm right in front of this place here. You can see goats outside. They're going to buy up all this. They're going to buy all this land. They'll probably knock down this apartment complex. Yeah. But McKee Tyson will be big. I'm saying it will be a massive airport. Here's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm just saying their plan is to make this an international airport is what I'm saying. Right now, it's just a national airport. And when I did the video this morning, I said when I first moved here in '97, it wasn't really growing then. And since from '97 to 2026, right now this year, this town is become it's because it's part of the greater Knoxville, Tennessee area. Since the airport is owned by the city of Knoxville, they're going to buy up all the land, and I don't think we're going to live here. Once we move out here, we're going to move out of this area because hell, they might decide to buy up the whole town of Alcoa and turn the entire city of Alcoa into an airport, international airport, which I would not be surprised if they did that. But we're going to be trying to organize, try to wake people up. There's some stuff we're not going to talk about on the internet. But this eminent domain stuff, I mean, it's a good thing. many ways they're bringing more jobs to this area, but at the same time, I've been debating on whether I should I should warn the people on Cunningham Street that they're about to be evicted, or the government's about to buy their home on eminent domain, because I've been tipped off. Actually, 2 years from now, they're going to buy up all that land. So I'm seriously thinking about telling them, um, or at least tell them when we get out of here. That way, we'll be able to find a good place an hour away from this place, either north, south, east, or west of this location. Maybe not east, but maybe north. Maybe north or west or south. Maybe in Athens, Sweetwater. But that's what's going on in this area. If anybody has any questions, they could check out our Freedom Fighter Radio podcast this Thursday. That's tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it usually lasts, our podcasts last at least an hour, maybe hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max, but it's usually about an hour and a half average. Sometimes it's only like 1 hour, so be prepared for it to be between an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We'll try to keep it down to 1 hour and an hour and a half or whatever. But I will tell you this: this upcoming Sundays is going to be at least an hour. Well, actually not an hour. It's going to be probably 2 hours, because it's actually the movie is about an hour, 20 minutes. So if we started at 9:30, and so if we started at 9:30 and we're still going on at 10:30, it's an hour. It should be probably, I don't know, 9:45 or something like that. I don't know. It would probably close to probably 15 till. Maybe I got it all calculated wrong. I think it's like, probably, if I got the right information, see, 9:30, 10 o'clock, that's 9:30 to 10:30, that's an hour. So it'd be 9:45 or 9:50. 10:50. So I think close to 2 hours or so, and then we'll probably have a talk section. We'll have a talk section, session right after that. I think that's what we'll have. Got something down here. Let's see. We'll figure something out here. Okay. If I got this right, if I got the calculations, if I'm doing my math correctly, we're looking at The movie will be from 9. If we started at 9:30, we're looking at a good 9:30. That's if we get it right at 9:30. We could always start 5 till 9:30 or 9:25, but let's say we start at 9:30 at the latest. We're looking at probably 10:50 if we don't have that much introduction to the movie. We're looking at 10:50, 10:55. So we could probably extend the podcast maybe at least 15 minutes or so to talk about the movie. We won't have time to talk about it beforehand. We won't really have that much, maybe the intro and stuff before, but I think this will be historic. If we could pull this off, I think it's going to make history. And debating whether we put that first part in or not. But I have to warn you, if we do, it's not something that the kids should watch. That part's really graphic and gory. It doesn't matter if that's shown or not, because I think people will get the point, because you can see the knife behind the guy's back, get ready to slice her throat. So you'd have to decide whether we should put that in there or not. We'll talk about that behind the scenes. Here in a little bit, about 6:30, I'm going to be watching the news. If you have any questions, you could always message me, or you could message Johnny Infidel, Johnny7, or James Skoviak on Facebook. And it's got on the banner, it says Freedom Fighter Radio on his banner, on his timeline. And we got a group on Facebook called Freedom Fighter Radio, so you need to check that out. And I think we've been posting, or at least I think we've been posting our podcasts on Freedom Fighter Radio, I believe. Some of them, we've got them on the timeline, on James Skoviak's timeline. Some of them, we can't show it. It's just on the timeline. We'll just show the link to our Talk Shoe podcast. Some of it might be controversial. When I re-edit this video, I'm going to try to send a link to James Skoviak's Facebook page, and I'll also try to send a link to the Freedom Fighter Radio Facebook page in the same the description. I'll try to re-edit it. And due to technical issues this morning, I had some issues on the live not going public. It was private. It was brought to my attention. It wasn't really showing up like it should have. I could re-edit this. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen something where I could actually broadcast this. And I should have probably done this. I could have taken this link here, okay, and broadcast live on Freedom Fighter Radio, the group page where it shows up live. Thinking about it, I probably should have done it, but for future reference, I think I'm going to try to do that from now on. We might be able to do some very carefully, I might add, very carefully, considering what platform we are on YouTube. We could do possibly, potentially podcasts from here, but for promotional purposes only. We can't get into the nitty gritty details like we can on Talk Show. Just promote it. But we could put some stuff on here and show it live on Facebook, like in a group. I don't know if this would allow me to broadcast live to a person's timeline or not, which would be interested if we could do that. I'm going to try to see if we can figure that out, how to do that. But I know that I've actually broadcast live videos on a group. I don't know if I've tried YouTube live, where it goes live on Facebook at the same time. I don't know if I've tried it or not, but I am going to try doing that, which would actually help us a little bit, I think. But like I said, I think this this movie that was just released in June 2026, and we're about to approach August. This Sunday, the 2nd, 9:30 p.m., we're about to hit August soon. The movie was released last month in June, so we just found out about it in the last. Well, I think we found out about it yesterday, actually, on Tuesday, I believe. So, better late than never, the way I look at it. So, we're going to be trying to take advantage of it as much as we can. And if we see any other videos that's controversy or whatever, we're going to try to take advantage of that too. But I think this movie is worth watching. My personal opinion, as far as the movie is concerned, if you ask if I was to critique the movie, and because I don't think it really adds anything to the movie, I don't want to give away the script of the movie or nothing like that, but I don't think it was necessary to have the X-rated version on the video itself. I mean, I'll let you in on a secret. The X-rated portion, he was doing his business, and the not to get too graphic, and while that was going on, he was looking up at the ceiling and he saw a mold, and he told somebody, he said, "Why is there mold on the ceiling?" And he said, well, he owned that motel or whatever, and I thought that was the funny part of the movie. But hell, if they had that movie, if they had a 30-minute segment, I doing that. It was actually about 8 minutes long, I think. If it was 30 minutes, I'd have cut out 30 minutes out of the movie. If it had been like an hour movie, total hour movie, and 30 minutes of it was the X-rated scene, the movie would be about 30 minutes long. I'd cut out the X-rated version. That's how long the movie would be if it was that long. So, no, I really didn't. I guess they just wanted to have for shits and giggles. I guess that's the reason why they put it in there. But I don't really think it added anything to the plot of the movie. I didn't, But the rest of the movie, yeah, it is kind of, it can be kind of violent. Yeah. So uh, it's basically saying not just America, but the world, that we're just basically sick and tired of the BS. You know, and since it's banned in Europe, that's saying a lot because over in Europe they've taken over. The Muslims have taken over. Uh, but I, not to be pat myself on the back or anything, but I I think I did a pretty good job. I think me and James Kovac did a pretty good job of getting this video put together because we give an option on how we could show the movie, uh, and then be able to see it without the X-rated portion of it, which, like I said, it didn't add nothing to the movie, so you're really not missing anything. Not really. Just smut. You get rid of the smut, minus the smut. Everything else is pretty graphic. It's pretty violent. You know. So I'm not going to say any more about it because I don't want to spoil the movie for you. Now, should it be put in the movie theaters? I don't know if they're going to be put in the movie theaters or not. Would it be worth going to the movie theater to buy tickets for it? Yeah. Because it's actually better than any of the crappy movies I've seen Hollywood come out with. I don't think Hollywood would have released a movie like this because, to be honest with you, I think all the movies they've got is sanitized, edited movies that cut out. And I'm not talking about pornographic. They do plenty of those pornographic movies. But I'm talking about the politically correct movies, the BS stuff they put out. I don't think Hollywood would have had the brains or the intellect to come up with something like this, Oh, okay. Well, it take place in the UK, it take place anywhere, it don't matter where it took place. It's here where we're at. It's relevant, you know. You know, we've had this. We've had all this violence here in America. So the vigilante was talking about. He talks about Trump. Talks about Biden. Hell, this could have actually been a documentary about an actual event that actually happened. Somebody was doing it, and someone asked me, "Do you think this is going to give some people ideas?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if someone copycats it, um, going after the Muslims, I'm not their judge, jury, and executioner. Would I condone it? Yeah, absolutely, I'd condone it. Go against these low life scumbags? Yeah, I definitely would condone it. Because I personally think it's got out of control. I've been watching stuff here lately in the news, uh, and that stuff I've been seeing on Facebook and YouTube. There've been a lot of attacks on people. Bacon, lettuce, mayonnaise, going attacking people left and right. So that movie, as far as I'm concerned, actually, in a sense, you could actually say that movie took place because it's the same damn things happening that's shown in the movie. Yeah, actually, it's same stuff. It's really not that much of it's not a stretch. It's not an exaggeration. It's just a reflection on what's actually happening here in America. They tried to cut a guy's head off in Ireland not too long ago. No, it's not. As far as I'm concerned, it's a documentary of something that actually happened, based on a true story. Yeah, yeah. I hope so too. Maybe it'll wake people up. And I think that's what that Amber girl said. She hopes it wakes people up and finally puts a fire under their butts. You know, is that? I think that's what she said in the video we watched yesterday, wasn't it? She said, "I hope this wakes people up, and if they see the movie." But I think we're going to be able to do a better job, to be honest with you, because here's the good thing about this. Here's the good thing about this. I see how this. You're not going to have to worry about Twitter. We got it downloaded, the original version and the edited version. We've got it. Even if Twitter knocks it down, even if they take it down, worst case scenario, we could show it to people and they can see it. Now we can't show the. I mean, if we got a website, we could obviously show the unedited version. If we get a website put together, yeah, absolutely. But in the meantime, um, we could show the edited version, which it's not really anything cut out. It's 8 minutes of pornographic material. But minus that, I think it's a good thing because the movie getting it out is a good thing because you don't have to worry about Twitter taking it down or having to go to Twitter if you don't have a Twitter account. We can make it available to you. So people that are watching this podcast right now, my broadcast now, take advantage. Take advantage. Look at this. You got an Amber Alert. Right now, as we're speaking, we got an Amber Alert. In my state, I keep getting these all the time. It's really sad. Probably the same scumbags we've been watching, been talking about. You know. Um, what I'm going to try to do right now, and I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm going to wait until about, since we're slowly, yeah, Amber Ford. Since we're closing in on the 6:30 news broadcast, national news, I'll tell you what we're going to do something different now. We've been doing this. We were here at 48 minutes. We're gonna wait a little bit longer, and we're going to see what we got on the news, the highlights. We may or may not. I don't think we're going to show the whole half-hour news broadcast from the national news. I got to decide which one. The Channel 6, the ABC or NBC. I got to pick and decide which one. And I'll just show the highlights. You're not going to be able to see it. You'll be able to hear it, hopefully. I'm going to turn the volume down and see if I can pick the right channel.
For the ones who get it done. When you need fast relief from your backed up gut, MiraFast works naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes. MiraFast acts faster, works gently. Now find MiraFast in the kids aisle for gentle, worry-free.
You talking about what I'm doing now? Or are you talking about the unedited version of the Citizen Vigilante? Are you talking about what I'm doing now, or the Citizen Vigilante thing we plan on doing Sunday night? Because like I said, I'm actually going to be down. I might put this on I might put this on Facebook on podcast, or this podcast right what I'm talking about right now. Okay, listen to this. This is Marsha Blackburn. She's running for governor of Tennessee. She's a conservative. Listen to this.
She took on big tech to protect kids from dangerous content. Now she's fighting to take back our classrooms.
My plan? Bell to bell. No sale. No excuses. No exceptions.
Marsha Blackburn.
No more posting. No scrolling. Here in Tennessee schools, we're going to learn.
Serving you always, straight from the heart. Your Knoxville Smokies are returning to town and bringing 6 nights of fun to the ballpark. July 28th through August 2nd, join us.
She's not going to put up with kids texting in the classrooms. She's going to
get your tickets
go
now.
after the.
Closed captioning is sponsored by.
Keep an eye on the education in Tennessee. According to her campaign promises.
Local you trust.
Okay, we got the broadcast coming up. We can podcast. Here we go.
Tonight, we're live outside the Pope's summer palace in Italy, where we spoke with the first American Pope as he hosted a concert for the world.
The Concert for Peace, helping to bring the world together.
This is the experience of beauty.
And my time with Pope Leo, his most extensive comments yet on what it means to be an American and the Pope.
I think of myself more as the
Can you hear
Pope,
it? You hear it?
who happens to be American.
Why he thinks America is great.
So many things.
The question so many Catholics back home are wondering.
Will Americans see you soon in America?
And what he just spoke about publicly for the first time, that some of his ancestors were slaves. We have exclusive access to the extraordinary event hosted by the Pope, his call for peace.
I pray that peace may reign in your homes.
The school children who have survived so much now celebrated, and the moving performance from one of the greatest tenors ever.
Also tonight, heated hearing, Dr. Anthony Fauci invoking the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times, refusing to answer questions about his handling of the pandemic. Now, Republican senators are threatening to hold him in contempt. Right now, violent storms whipping across the Northeast, an apparent twister peeling off this roof, a mill collapsing in rushing waters, streets cut off. We're tracking it all. President Trump vowing revenge after Iran attempted a surprise missile attack on U.S. bases. And our new reporting, his furious outburst at his national security team. Actor Jared Leto facing new allegations of sexual misconduct. Multiple women telling the BBC he pursued them when they were teens. How he's responding. The wild road rage chase caught on camera. A driver going in reverse, appearing to chase down a couple. What happened next? Plus, new body cam video of ex-NFL star Tony Romo's DUI arrest. What it shows. Nightly News starts right now.
This is a special edition of NBC Nightly News.
Like I said, I was just showing the highlights. If you want to see the news, you'll just have to. They're talking about Iran doing a sneak attack on U.S. base. And Trump was ticked off on that. So anything else that we're talking about, the Pope, and they talked about the storms and stuff. So it's nothing new. Same old. Just stuff about Iran. That's about it. We're slowly approaching about an hour into our broadcast here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this off. If you, like I said, if you have any questions, concerns, like I said, tomorrow night, 9:30, we're doing the podcast. Me, Kimberly Freed, James Jacobiak. On Sunday, 9:30 till, I don't know, 11 o'clock or so. We'll be doing the Citizens Vigilante, highlighting the movie Citizens Vigilante movie, the edited version. And then you'll be able to see it, and you'll see what we're talking about. Should wake people up. And according to what he said, it takes place in the UK. And in reality, yeah, all this stuff's been taking place in the UK, and taking place in Ireland, and taking place in Europe, and taking place in the United States. So this is reality. This is where we live at. This is the world we live in today. We have no choice. We have to stand up, and we have to take action now. We can't sit on our butts. We can't afford to sit on our butts. Unfortunately, it's one of those do or die situations. You either do something about it, or we're going to face the consequences, and we'll all be killed. All get our throats slashed, and that's what we're dealing with right now. We'll all get killed if we don't do something, and do something quick. So you need to think about that. Really do need to think about that. So before I close out, right now we got 6:35 p.m. on Wednesday, July 29th, 2026, 6:35 p.m. And it's about 85 degrees Eastern Standard Time in Tennessee. It's kind of hot. We had rain yesterday. We're having storms all over the place. We had a tornado in my neck of the woods. They got on video. Let's scrolling back. Amber Ford lives in the next town from me. So we got that next, not this Saturday, next Saturday. I'm going to try to meet with Jerry Bridges up in Cleveland. Kind of be up there, meet with him, talking to him about a few things. I'm going to keep some things under wraps for him. Order a few things off maybe Temu and some other stuff. I'm going to try to keep things under wrap. Some stuff we can't talk about on Facebook, YouTube, or different places on the internet. We got to keep it under the radar. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Some stuff is so sensitive you can't talk about it. But the people that I know are beyond pissed off. Because I think I know the pulse of America right now, based on the people that I know in different parts of the world. And got a friend in England who's big on this. I pray for him. I think his name is Chris Britton, or that may be his name. I don't forget what his name was. Maybe he'll see this podcast. I don't know. I'll try to put this on his group, and maybe he'll see it. I don't know. I pray for the people in England. I pray for the people in Ireland. I pray for the people in Europe. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's going to take something here in America to set an example for the world, because the world, I think, is waiting on our response. Hasn't that been always the case? When the United States stands up, when we fight enemies of the world, they always look to the United States as an example, as a shining beacon of hope. They look to the United States and see what our response is. And then we inspire other countries to fight back evil. So what I think what's going on right now, this is just my personal opinion and theory, is I think the world is waiting to see what we Americans do. What is our, since the government's not doing anything, the people of the world are going to be watching us, are going to be watching the American people. What is our response going to be to this Muslim takeover? What are we going to do about it? And I'm hoping that the American people will do something to set an example to the world of options they could do. This movie here, I don't know where it was made. It could have been made here in America. I don't know. But I'm hoping what we do in this country, and after watching the movie, I'm hoping that we'll do something that will inspire people in the world to do something, to take action, some kind of action to stop this. I know I am. I just, I'm already awoke. I'm ready to fight, anytime, any place. I'm just hoping the American people will wake up in time. I'm already there. I'm already awake. I'm ready to fight. And I know some people that are ready to fight now. We're actually pleading with the American people to wake up. It's all going to depend on you. This is our country. And this is, like I said, do or die time. It's at the breaking point right now. We either do something about it, or just wait till it explodes and then be too late. That's where we're at right now, and we can't afford to do that, especially now, because they're taking over these cities. They're getting elected to office. They don't even have to be born in the United States. They don't even have to be legal citizens of the United States to run for office. Either run for office or be a police officer, be a chief of police, sheriff. You know how dangerous that is? Can you imagine getting pulled over by a police officer? Wasn't even born here, not even a legalized citizen in the United States, allowed to be a police officer. Pull up behind you. Next thing you know, they cut your throat, just like they did with that woman in the movie. That's the thing I'm afraid of. It's going to turn these jerks, these scumbags loose on American people. And when they do that, like I said, they're going to go full-blown caliphate on us and start chopping people's heads off. That's what's going to happen if we don't get off our butts and wake the hell up. People better start growing eyes in the back of their head. Yes, you can afford to be paranoid. It's better to be paranoid than not be paranoid. Because I know if I saw somebody like they showed at the beginning of that video, where I watched it, if I was with my brother, I'd tell him, I'd say, look, we got to go over here. This guy's got a knife behind his back. Or I'll pull my gun out and say, hey, man, walk the other way. Yeah, it's really sad. That part actually woke me up, but the dangers of what that already know what's going on. There's just attacking people left and right, and I don't like it. If they're coming within arm's length of you, you know how dangerous that is. If they're just coming up to you and they're walking down the road and they're coming the opposite way. The blade was that long. The unedited version, the blade, I swear, was that freaking long. I'm absolutely speechless about that. We're going to go ahead and conclude this right now. Like I said, we'll see you tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see you Sunday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on Freedom Fighter Radio.